and hello and welcome to Knockhatch's 11:30 live stream. This is Stanley, our skunk. We do also have Florence in here as well. He is currently eating a small amount of quail. This may get a little bit gory for some of you, but he can be a bit of a temperamental skunk at times. So we have to have something nice and salient and exciting to distract him from our ankles and thighs. Otherwise, it would turn into a bit of a snuff film because he can get quite excitable and a little bit nippy. So we do ask if you can start sharing the video, do the video sharing thing on the Facebook Live so all your friends can see this. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to write in. But yeah, my name's Ben, we have Mark behind the camera, and we have Stanley, who is out at the moment. Now, skunks, they are from North America, or the striped skunks are anyway. And they are fantastic animals. They are really cool. They don't receive the best press, they don't have the best reputation in the media. Most of us, when we think of skunks, think of Pepe Le Pew. We think of them as being quite disgusting, quite smelly animals. I will say, if any of you guys have ever had the pleasure of doing anything with ferrets before, they smell far worse most of the time. The skunks, on the other hand, they only really smell if they spray. Other than that, they actually smell absolutely fine. They're no worse than our meerkats. You're not having that. They're no worse than our meerkats or our raccoon. They're part of the mustelid family, and the mustelid family is one of my favourite mammal families because they're so diverse, they're so widely distributed. I will try and get you guys to guess some members of the mustelid family, some of the animals that are related to this guy. I realise we have done that in the past, and we haven't quite got the responses we were after, or any responses whatsoever. So if you want to write in and let us know what you think this is related to, please do so now. It'll make things slightly less awkward for me. If not, I'm happy to give you the answers as well. I will come back to that one in just a second. Now, I think the most noticeable thing about Stanley is that he doesn't look like the skunk we're used to. When you think of a skunk, you think of a black and white striped animal, quite different to the one you see in front of you now. Naturally, in the wild, they would be black and white. It really does help with camouflage. They're predominantly nocturnal animals, and those white markings and those black markings help break up the silhouette, make it harder to spot. This one here was bred in captivity, and he is an albino, so he has the lovely pink eyes, he's got the sort of pink skin, the white fur. Albinos in captivity, there can be issues. On the pet trade, on the legal pet trade, albinos are highly sought after. They're highly sought after because they are worth a lot more money. A typical black and white skunk, which I will remind you is totally legal on the pet trade for some reason, will go for a couple of £100. Albino female, who is fertile, can go upwards of £1,000. So there is a big demand for albino skunks because they're just worth more money. The breeding practices to get the albino are questionable, and it is always worth, if you're looking to get an animal, try and get the naturally coloured ones. It generally means they've been bred better, and they won't have any health problems down the line. Do you have a question?
Yeah, we have a couple of questions. What colours can skunks be?
Okay, so black and white is your traditional skunk colour. It's the natural colour they'd be in the wild. If Stanley was in the wild now, he would have been eaten. He's a really quite obvious prey item. Anything from coyotes to birds of prey coyotes to birds of prey to mountain lions, and that they'd quite easily spot Stanley, so he wouldn't survive very long. You can get chocolatey coloured ones. You can get different sort of morphs, which are the different colorations, but black and white is kind of the most common. Is there another question?
Yes. Are they? Eric Knight is wondering: are they endangered or threatened in any way?
They're not endangered. They are actually least concern. They're doing really well in the wild. This is largely due to the fact that these guys, they are built like tanks. They can survive up in the north of the USA, up near Canada, so they can deal with temperatures as low as -15. And they can survive down in Texas with temperatures sort of +30. So they are built to resist extreme temperatures. And one of the reasons for their success is, in fact, the fact that they just eat anything. Your mustelids are generally not picky eaters anyway, but they'll eat anything from carrion, so dead animals, roadkill. They'll eat insects. Insects makes up a large part of their diet. Vegetables, roots, berries, pretty much anything they can get their mouth round. They've actually got quite poor eyesight. Here you see a few feet in front of them. Their sense of smell is what they rely on to dig up bugs and grubs and to track down sort of carrion. I will say they generally don't hunt. Big prey. They're not very fast. I've had to distract Stanley, but they're quite slow lumbering animals really, so they're not really active hunters. But no, they are doing quite well. There are threats to them in the wild. Obviously, with all animals, we are the major threat. As I say, they like to eat carrion. That means they're near roads. And as with many animals that feed on roads, they tend to get hit. And these guys do become roadkill. I will say that this is a double-edged sword. If you hit a skunk, you are going to kill it most likely. But that skunk has got one last thing up its sleeve. It will spray the underside of your car. And particularly if you're living in a hot country like Texas, Alabama, that smell is pretty much going to write off your car for a number of weeks. It's going to stink. It's a last resort. So the skunks do get their own back in that regard. Do we have another question?
Yes, got a couple more. So from Denise Welch, this is basically leads on to where you what you've been saying. Where did you get them, and why? And if the skunk does spray, does it smell like people say?
We got this from somebody, I believe, up north. She had a couple of skunks. The reason we got them is because we've always had, for about the last 7 to 8 years, we've always had a skunk here. They do hold a special place in our heart, mainly because we do like those animals that don't receive the best reputation in the media. I'd say the major point in our animal encounter shows when we're open is to try and get people over preconceptions about animals. So we really hammer home snakes, spiders, cockroaches. We show you they're not. I hope to show you they're not scary, and the main sort of thing we try and drive home is their ecological importance. Skunks are no different. They're carrion eaters, so they clean up after dead animals, dead rotting food. They are also prey, and that may not sound like much, but being a prey item is really important. A lot of your large American mammals are under threat, and something like a skunk that can really keep them going for a number of days, if not weeks. That is a big prey source, so they are vitally important. Do we have another question?
Yes. Sophie Beer is wondering, why is he eating by the door, and how will you get out?
That's a very good question. The reason he's eating by the door is actually slightly on us. One of the issues we had when we got Stanley was the fact that he was, I like to say, boisterous, not aggressive. He did like to jump on your feet, he did like to nibble your ankles. And some of our keepers were slightly nervous of Stanley, so the thing to do was to throw the food in as quickly as possible, get him distracted, go round, muck him out, clean him, re-dead him. The problem is, although he's not the smartest mammal, he picks up association as well. And what he's learned is, the door is where I get my food. This is something we've been trying to combat. We've been trying to feed him in different parts of the enclosure. In fact, Sophie, who asked the question, has very much spearheaded that, trying to get us to feed him away from the door. Obviously, I have not done that today. But yeah, we are trying to keep him away from there, because there is nothing scarier than seeing his big white head poking out between the gaps in the door, staring you down, looking, thinking, I'm going to have your ankles in a minute.
We got a few more questions. James Knight says, I've heard that the skunks have a particular taste for expensive wellies. Is this true?
This is true. They do have a taste for expensive wellies. There's a guy, a keeper here called Tim Holland, and he really likes his wellies in particular. I think he went for his original pair, which is a really nice new pair that I'm actually very jealous of. I actually believe Mark almost got destroyed when he didn't Tim in here. So yes, he does have a taste for expensive wellies, and I think it was Denise Welch who asked earlier on, is the smell as bad as everybody says? And I didn't actually answer that question, so I went off on a tangent. Yes, the smell is absolutely putrid. Luckily, our skunks have never sprayed us. I have been sprayed before by skunks at another collection, and it is horrendous. It is absolutely putrid. Cross between sort of melting rubber a little bit of rotting flesh. The best way I can describe it is hot. You don't really think of the smell being hot, but it's a hot smell. It is really quite disgusting.
We have Bev Hemsley, just saying hi from Linden Court.
Hi Bev.
Hi
Hope
Bev,
you guys
yeah.
are all getting on okay. I imagine you've still got to work, so I'm hoping you guys are staying safe, and we can't wait to have you back when this is all over. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you again. I'll have to come in on a Thursday. I will say a little bit about that spray. It is a fantastic deterrent. I can't ramble on enough about how cool that spray is. It is really, really awesome. It's such a clever mechanism to stop yourself getting eaten, because it's not just you surviving. Because if he was to spray something like an American badger, something slightly smaller than a coyote, that animal's probably going to run away. It's going to be quite painful. If it gets in the eyes, it burns. It's a distressing smell. They're probably going to run away. If he sprays a mountain lion, a coyote, something bigger, that animal is probably going to go, you know what, I'm still going to eat you, and he's going to eat him. But that animal is never going to hunt again, most likely. If that animal smells like skunk, every prey item in the surrounding area is going to know that predator's coming. So that spray doesn't just help him, but it helps his family members, helps his friends. It means that other animals don't get eaten by that predator. If the predator gets sprayed by it, that is essentially a death sentence in the wild.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions that kind of link in. Joanne Margaret is wondering, is he affectionate with you now? Does he play? And then Sam Mercer, again, was saying, what does he play with?
Affectionate isn't a term I'd use. I'd like to say that all our animals love us. You can actually hear the skunk trying to get to us. I'd say he is actually relatively affectionate.
Raccoon?
These guys, the raccoon, yeah. I don't think these guys, or particularly him, is necessarily affectionate, but he is. He does associate us with food, and I think that's the level of his. That's sort of how he views us. We are a source of food, because that's pretty much what we do. We come in, we feed him, and the only other thing I will do is I will worm him and do his flea treatment, and that means he's not a big fan of me because I'm the guy who pins him down, wraps him in a towel, and starts playing around with his neck and ears, which I can understand probably means he doesn't like me. Toy-wise, we do different toys. They're really food orientated. So one of the best things we actually find isn't necessarily a toy, but we bury insects in the enclosure. We have a black tube basically that we've hollowed out. That's got insects in it. It's underground. The insects slowly climb out, and that keeps them entertained for 2 or 3 hours because they can't actually get to the insects until they come out. That's kind of the best thing for them. And Tim Holland's expensive Wellington probably equal to that core bit of enrichment for entertainment, particularly for Stanley. I will say, we've talked a lot about Stanley, but there is Florence in here. She's a naturally coloured skunk. She's a lot more nervous, a bit more timid than he is. I think she might have already run out, or is she in there?
She's in here.
So I probably won't see too much of her. Do we have any other questions? Mark?
Oh, there she is. Yeah. See, she's very shy there. Only see her for a glimpse. Yes, we do have a bunch of questions. So, Corrine Beck is wondering, is Stanley shy?
He's definitely not shy, no. He's very boisterous. He's definitely very excited to see us. Again, that's not because he likes us, not because he loves us, or even probably particularly likes us because we have food. But he's an interesting one, aren't you? He definitely tests our reflexes as well. He'll let us have a little stroke up until he's bored of that, and he'll try and nip us, won't you? But again, you can't really blame him for that. A lot of that is probably fear aggression. He can't see very well because he's a skunk, and he's an albino, which has a tendency to affect eyesight. So for him, I'm a big, shapeless, looming object that's touching him and fiddling with him, and you can't really blame him for being deterred by that. So that's probably where a lot of that behaviour comes from. We always like to say it's not the animal's fault, it's usually the keeper's fault, or it's something to do with their physiology or a prior behavioural problem.
So So Denise Welch was wondering, can they live in pairs?
They can live in pairs. Naturally in the wild, they're pretty solitary. They're usually quite solitary feeders as well. But they can live in pairs relatively comfortably. Yeah, so we've got obviously Stanley and Florence, a male and female in here, and they get on relatively well. Although you wouldn't think it, because Florence darted off the moment she came out. She's actually probably the more dominant one within the pairing. She is the one who will take the food. If we're not in here and we put food down, she'll usually walk over and tell Stanley off and take the best bits of food for herself. And Stanley grumbles a bit, but he seems to be pretty okay with that. But yeah, they get on relatively well in pairs.
And from Eric Knight, what is a baby skunk called?
Don't like that question, Eric. I can't actually remember. I want to say kit. That is probably wrong. Small skunk? Juvenile skunk. Juvenile skunk is the name of a young skunk. But yes, I will find out and I will put it in the comments for that one.
I think it's a kit, isn't it?
Kit? Juvenile skunk? It's
Juvenile.
generally... Yeah. Juvenile skunk.
Baby skunk.
Yeah.
So, we don't have any more questions for the time being. So.
I would like to say I believe there will be an activity sheet up for you guys later on. I'll talk to you a little bit about what we feed him. He's got quite a gory meal today. He's got a whole quail. This is a bit of a treat for him. Carcass feeds is something that only happens once a fortnight, maybe slightly more, and maybe slightly less. Typically he gets less meat than this in the day. This was mainly just a distraction, but he gets a mixture of rabbit, quail, mouse, rat or chick. He also gets insects, and we find insects are a really nice thing for him to have. We do dried mealworms, we do live cockroaches, crickets and things like that, and a little bit of vegetation. We try and make it as diverse as possible because that's what he'd naturally be doing in the wild.
So baby skunk is a surfet or surfate.
Surfate, is that from Eric? Is that from Eric?
And that's from Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
And
Surfate.
yeah. And Carly Dodge is wondering what is his favourite food.
Honey. Honey is a big. He's kind of a treat we'll give him. Quail, definitely. Sort of whole foods, probably quail. We find he likes that best, and that's mainly because it's a bit of a treat. But yeah, honey or quail.
Yeah. And another question from Carly Dodge. What weather do they like best? What's their favourite weather condition?
This weather. Not too warm. I'm not sure how hot it is today. It's obviously quite cool today. This is ideal for them. It's not too hot, they're not getting too stuffy in their enclosure, but it's not too cold. They don't like it particularly bright and sunny. They're not like the raccoon or the coatis that will go out and sunbathe and enjoy the heat. They usually hide away. That's because they're mainly nocturnal animals. So nice cool temperatures are kind of when we see them to be most active and usually most friendly. Any others?
None for the time being.
Excellent. Thank you guys for all your questions, by the way. It's probably the most questions I've had for an animal. I'd also like to commend Mark's bravery for being the cameraman in here, because he's got to focus on the camera. I can keep an eye out for the skunk, but he can get sneaked up on a lot easier than I can. So hats off to Mark for staying still and holding the camera still.
Happened a couple of times.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, they're adapted. So I'll quickly answer the question, because I take it we didn't get any answers to what they're related to. So mustelids are one of the bigger mammal families, and also one of the more diverse, found across most of the world. Here in the UK, we have a variety of mustelids. We've got badgers, we've got stoats, weasels, ferrets, polecats, pine martens. They're all mustelids. In America, you don't have the North American badger. That isn't a mustelid, I'm pretty sure, actually. In America, you've got your skunks. In South America, you've got your tyra. They are a really widely distributed animal and have done very well for themselves. And again, they're usually opportunists and usually can be a lot of the time are omnivores. There are exceptions like your ferrets and polecats, which are pretty much obligate carnivores. but they are opportunistic animals, and they're usually pretty resilient. Have we got another question?
Yes, Denise Welch. I was wondering, how many times do you feed them?
So we feed Stanley twice. Well, we feed both of them twice a day. We'll spread the morning feed out, so they'll get a main meal. So usually they get their vegetables in the morning. As much like children, and I'm sure like adults. If you offer them a choice between something really nice and something like vegetables, they'll typically go for the really nice thing, fill themselves up, and refuse to eat the veg. So we usually do the veg just before we open, and then we'll bury the insects, and then that keeps them entertained to about 11, 12, and that usually gets them out for a bit of time for you guys to see them. Although I do understand that most of you probably haven't seen our skunks if you've visited here, because they are usually pretty inactive. But yeah, we spread that feed out through the morning, and then in the afternoon they get a nice big bit of meat, and that keeps them going through the evening. It's a nice energy-rich meal. You're actually being quite nice today, Stanley. But I don't want to speak too soon.
We've got a question from Ollie, wondering what do they like to play with?
They like to play, again,
wellies.
mainly their food, wellies. Mainly their food, so they really like to dig. They're superbly scent orientated, so digging is something that we can do that's actually quite easy. It doesn't take up much of our day, but it's really rewarding for these guys, and it does take up a lot of their time budget throughout the day. So yeah, digging for things is kind of their favourite thing to do. Do you have another question?
No, for the time being. So I'll just zoom in on Stanley for a bit.
Yeah.
I'll try not to get the quail in too much.
Please. You are lovely. So he does share his habitat with a number of other animals. We commonly get asked if them and raccoons are related. Again, quite similar animals, opportunistic. Whereas these guys hunt mainly using scent. Raccoons very tactile, so using touch a lot more. But they filled a niche in sort of the American ecosystem that has proved to be really successful for them, which is basically nature's been there, just taking up everything. And that spray is, like I say, incredibly potent. They spray out, I think, about 10 feet. And what they'll usually do is they'll rear that tail up to make sure none of it gets on them, and they'll squirt whatever's attacking them. It is usually a last resort.
Yeah, we've got a question from Joanne Margaret. Are you able to give all the animals lots of enrichment activities while you are closed?
Yes, I'll be honest, we can probably do more. There's certain things that we don't usually do in front of customers. So things like carcass feeds, that's usually reserved for when we're closed, sort of in the evenings or early mornings. And we are going to be releasing some videos over the coming weeks of a little enrichment competition. I've started between the keepers. We can, yeah, I'll be honest, we can probably do a little bit more because we're closed. We've got more time on our hands, and we can be a bit more adventurous with it. There's certain things, we won't do in front of customers because it's gory, or because it's live food, which people sometimes get a bit squeamish at, or just because we've got shows and customer-facing activities we've got to do normally. Now we're closed, we can spend a lot more time. We are going to be utilising this time to try and prepare some stuff for when we're open. So whenever we're open, we've got a lot of enrichment in storage, and it just means that, if, say, we open for summer and we're incredibly busy, it just means that we've got to take whatever we've built now in the nice quiet time, we can pop it in here, and that will keep them entertained for ages, and we don't have to do too much prep for that when we're really, really busy and at a bit of time constraint.
And Sam Mercer would like to know, how big is his tail?
How big is his tail?
To get a good zoom in.
That big. 10 centimetres, 15?
Yeah.
Not massive. Can vary very slightly between skunks, but it's usually not massive. It's usually exaggerated slightly on cartoons. They don't want a long flowing tail because A, that's going to get dragged through the mud and it's going to get horrible, but also they need to be able to flip that whole thing back so they don't get any spray on it. And what they'll do when they spray is quite cool. I do debate whether or not Stanley would be able to do it, but they'll basically go on their front legs, flick back that tail and spray. So most of it is tail. That sounds weird to talk about a tail, but with a lot of animals, it's a lot of fur and not much tail, but it does go almost right to the end, which means they've actually got a lot of dexterity in it, which means they can really pull that back to the void. Have we got another question?
Yes, Denise Welch. I was wondering, do you live in Knockhatch to keep an eye on the animals?
I don't live at Knockhatch, no. We actually live in Seaford. No, we do have our bosses who are equally as passionate as us about the animals, who will look after them when we're not here. They'll do nightly rounds and go around and check on them. I will say that if we get, particularly if we get more with the owls, if we get babies in and things like that, usually one of us will, if we're hand grooming them, take them home. But usually our bosses will keep an eye on them through the night, and then we'll take over in the morning.
Elia would like to know, what do they like to do?
A bit of everything really. They really like to sleep. They are quite inactive animals, particularly they are going to be more inactive in captivity. So they like to sleep a lot. They love to forage. They love to dig. Again, digging takes up a lot of their time, imagine. That does make our jobs interesting because we have to wood chip our animals' enclosures quite regularly to make them look nice and fresh. The moment you put fresh wood chip in with a skunk, what he'll do, what this one will do, dig it all up, make sure he gets all the mud on top of it, and basically make trenches in it, which is a lot of fun. And he does. These guys will groom each other as well, so that takes up a bit of time. Sleeping indeed is probably the most they will do.
Eric Knight would like to know, can they swim?
It's a very good question. Can they swim?
They're not really well adapted to it, are they?
Not really. I think he'd probably sink. I imagine if they were to get into water, they'd be able to get themselves back out. But no, I don't believe typically they would swim. They're not really built for it. Sure, if I'm wrong, I will be correct.
Yeah, their claws are more adapted for
really
digging.
They are brilliant little diggers though. And they're, like I say, their sort of adaptability, the fact that they are quite rugged and can be found in different environments. It's not that you'll see different types of skunks, and you will see different types of skunks, there are different subspecies, but your North American sort of striped skunk will be found up north and down south. There are very few anatomical differences. You know, one hasn't got a thick layer of blubber and one hasn't. They are basically the same thing, but they're just built to resist. It's basically the same skunk dealing with minus temperatures and plus temperatures. They are an amazing example of environmental adaptation. Just fantastic animals. And ones that aren't appreciated enough. Obviously, the smell is kind of what everybody knows about the skunks. And that in itself is amazing. But yeah, the fact that they are so tough and rugged, the fact that they are able to seek out their food through pretty much smell alone, they are owed an awful lot of gratitude. Do you have another question?
Just a lovely comment. So Sam Mercer's just saying, stay well from Lily Mercer. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You too.
Yeah, we are practicing social distancing and government guidelines in regards to wash our hands and hygiene. Obviously, being essential workers is both a blessing and a curse. I'm sure some of us, there are times, particularly when it's wet and windy and a bit cold, we'd quite like to be at home, but also this job's nice because we still get to come in and interact with our charges. Particularly with a lot of our animals, we absolutely adore them, and the thought of spending months away from them would be really hard for us. So it is really nice that we can come in. And it's one of the reasons we're still doing these videos, is to try and because we know a lot of you guys are annual pass holders, and you've been coming for years and you have seen these animals, and it will be horrible not being able to see them for a while. Obviously you are missing some interesting things. We've got joeys, wallabies have joeys, we have baby guinea pigs, and we are going to really try and bring that to you through videos. But yeah, no, thank you for your concern. It's genuinely touching.
And Eloise was wondering, how many skunks do we have?
We got two. We got Stanley and Florence at the moment. They are fertile, so anything can happen. But yes, at the moment we've got 2, and we're quite happy with 2. They are, although they are quite slow, and then in the nicest way possible, not the brightest mammal, they are more than a handful. So we're quite, having 2 is good enough for us.
Are they wild, or can they be kept as a pet from Sky?
That's a really good question. It does open up a can of worms, and I promise I won't ramble on about it too much. They are wild. You know, these are captive, but they are wild captive animals. They're not domesticated like cats and dogs, or even ferrets. They are animals that haven't been domesticated. They are wild animals in captivity. And that may seem a bit like an oxymoron, but it is a fact. There are some private keepers who do fantastic jobs with skunks. They can be kept as pets. There is absolutely no license. These guys, it's as easy to buy one of these guys as it is to buy a guinea pig. If any of you guys have rescued dogs from Raisted or Battersea, I'd imagine you'd had to have background checks. They'd have had to check your house. They'd look to see if you're near a main road. None of that applies for skunks. It would have been harder to rescue your dog than it would have been to get a skunk. You could go on Facebook and buy them for £200-300, and that is a issue, because while there are some absolutely fantastic keepers, there are some keepers who may be in the majority that just can't provide them the physical health that they need. They can't, feeding them, their physical well-being is crucially important, but their mental well-being is crucially important as well. It's the same with a lot of these wild animals that are captive and kept in domestic settings. They need a lot of enrichment, they need a lot of time and dedication. If you don't, you start to see stereotypies. These are repetitive behaviours a lot of the time. So that's things like pacing, that can be things like bar biting, that can be things like over-grooming. But this can manifest in something far worse. This can manifest in things like self-mutilation. So we've seen animals that have been kept in captivity, in domestic captivity, in people's houses as pets, and they've chewed limbs off, fingers off, out of boredom. And as strange as that sounds, that alleviates the boredom of the same routine every day after day after day. I mean, you guys have been locked at home for probably almost 2-3 weeks now, and I imagine a lot of you going out your minds. Imagine your animal that's not domesticated, is not used to being in a home. It's hugely cognitively impressive being locked in the house 24/7. Wild animals on a pet trade is a real issue, and we are hoping it will change. I will plug a petition that's going on at the moment, which is to ban primates as pets. We're not necessarily saying you should ban all exotic mammals as pets. Absolutely not. Regulation is really important. It's crazy that there's no regulation to go out and buy yourself a skunk, or to go out and buy yourself a marmoset, which are those nice cute little monkeys. There's no regulation for these things. There is a banning primates as pets, or regulating primates as pets on the government website, I think on the DEFRA website. So we do really recommend going to that and signing that petition. That's my activist spiel over. Is that it?
That's it for my questions for now.
Okay. I think we'll probably give you a little bit longer to look at Stanley, and then we're going to finish. And we'll probably see you again at, I think, 3 o'clock, isn't it?
3:30 for our
3:30.
walkout.
Watch parties, that's what they're called.
Watch parties.
Watch parties. I was trying to think what a sharing thing was. I'm glad I remembered at the end of the video.
Is there a Florence around somewhere?
Florence is, I think she's underneath her lock.
I
I've seen her nose poking out a little bit.
Yeah, we're trying to get some good socialising time with Florence as well, encouraging her to come out. She loves mealworms, so we tend to try and sprinkle some mealworms out for her. But she is a much shyer skunk than Stanley. No questions this one, Alison. We'll give it a couple of minutes. So if anyone does have any questions while we're watching Stanley, feel free to ask, and we'll answer those questions for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the video in just a minute. So if you guys do have any more questions, feel free to ask them now. Now's the time. But if you have any questions after the video, feel free to message us, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, guys. You've been absolutely amazing. We really appreciate all the likes, loves, and comments. We do encourage you to ask plenty more questions. We'll be doing a birthday shout out, so if anyone has any birthdays, feel free to give us a private message, and we'll do birthday shout outs at 2:30 live on Facebook. And then we have our 3:30 walkabout as usual, and we'll be going around most of Knockhatch. Obviously feel free to comment, tell me where you want me to take the live stream, and we'll go around there. But that's enough from us this morning, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and see you soon.
Thank you.